Gold has come down in price quite a lot. So has silver, to be fair. And it's certainly making a lot of people think about whether or not gold and silver is a good hedge against inflation. Well, I think it personally is. This coin was bought for £1,015 5 years ago, and now it's worth £400 plus more than it once was. So for me, gold really is the best way to protect my money going forward into the future. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a warm welcome to you all joining me for another precious metal ramble. Gold and silver have come down in price quite considerably over the last couple of weeks, which is of course contrary to pretty much everything else on the planet right now, which is going up in price with the cost of living crisis. Everything from petrol, gas, electricity bills, and of course even food are going up. Now that's an interesting thing for gold and silver because of course them going down raises a lot of questions as to why. Gold and silver are supposed to be this incredible hedge against inflation, this way to protect your money and the cash that you're holding. But it does seem a little bit odd that silver and gold have come down quite so much, especially when you take silver into account from just over a year ago. You're down nearly 25-30% on that original stake. Now these are of course all spot prices, and a lot of people will argue that the premiums that we have to pay for our physical silver right now are more reflective of how inflation is treating the market. And I don't think that that's completely right. I kind of feel like there's a lot of people out there who are just buying silver because there's a lot of hype about it. And there are a lot of good things in its favor, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of gold and silver. But it's not necessarily the immediate short-term inflation hedge protection that you might think. Now, my argument here is, of course, based on my own thoughts and opinions, my own situation. It's not financial advice. And realistically, nobody knows where things are going to be into the future. But one thing that I know is that I've had some gold that I've purchased a few years ago become exceptionally more valuable than it currently is today. All you've got to do is look at this piece of gold bought in 2017 to see that it has grown nearly £400 an ounce in spot value alone. In fact, over £400 an ounce in spot value. And at the dizzying highs, over £500 an ounce. 33% growth on that. So my argument to you would be that gold and silver have already been inflation-beating pieces of metal. They've already helped preserve that money from the start of the pandemic, which is where it all began, where we saw huge shutdowns and lockdowns around the world, which has had this knock-on effect that's been compounded by other geopolitical situations in the world. So for me, gold and silver have done that job. They've protected wealth that I've put in before. Now, buying gold right now to protect your money in the short term is a very different animal. And it's got to be looked at over a long period of time. I've said that time and time again on my channel, but I really do want to reiterate that gold and silver is not about a quick turnaround. And if you are considering looking at gold as that quick turnaround, then don't buy physical, because the premiums by which we have to pay for the stuff that we hold is what will get you in most trouble. And no more is that true than with silver. And that's one of the reasons why right now you're seeing such high premiums on silver. With this whole craze that's going on about inflation, it does seem like it should be the right thing to buy. But all we've got to look at is the last year's performance of this stuff to really understand that it's come down quite a lot. But it's also come down a lot from a big high. There is no doubting that silver went up and it has come crashing down. Will it go back up again? Yeah, I'm sure it will. It goes up, it goes down. It's a commodity. That is exactly what silver is supposed to do. But when is the question. And also how you get your cash out at the other end for premium silver that you buy, which is pretty much any silver right now, to be quite fair, is a really important thing to think about. So for me, even though silver has come down in price quite a lot, and you've got to look at the ratio and think, hey, do you know what? Right now is a good time to buy silver. At over 90-1, you are looking very much like having a better time if you buy silver and then perhaps wait for the ratio to drop back down and trade it up for gold. You know, if it's 90-1 right now and it gets back to 60-1 like it was maybe a year ago, then your quid's in. You can get an ounce of gold right now for the cost of 60 ounces of silver, which is dirt cheap, absolutely dirt cheap. But again, premiums factoring in this equation make it less good. So where do we go from here as stackers? Now, for me, I'm looking right now at more gold. Gold is where I think money should be parked if you're looking at any precious metals. Now, that's not a financial advice statement. That's not a formal bit of financial advice. But I do firmly believe, as with my earlier purchases back in 2017, the price that we're seeing for gold right now is lower than I think where it is going to be in, say, 5-10 years. Now, we're seeing high inflation right now, and a lot of people misunderstand these inflation figures. When you see them come out every month, people think, God, it's gone up 9% just in a month. Everything's gone up, in a year. That means everything's going to double in price. No, it's not quite like that. It's a rolling 12-month situation. And there are certain items within that commodity train that fuels the consumer price index results that will double. And we've seen a few of them already this year that are, it's just the supply chains and logistics. But those things will ease. And I am firmly of the belief that the phrase that everybody seems to hate in the world of silver and gold, transitory inflation, is real. I don't think we're going to see a collapse in gold and silver over the coming weeks and months and years. I think it's going to be a slow and steady devaluation of currency. And the devaluation of the currency is very different to inflation concerns. And what I've got a little bit of evidence for here is to show you, well, I'm going to tell you rather than show you, but the gold charts for UK pounds across this exact calendar year show a plus 7.1% increase. Now, that's still less than the 9.4% that we've seen just published now today. But nevertheless, it is indicative, that's a really hard word to say on YouTube. It is showing me that there is this correlation between gold and the price of your currency. If you conversely have a look at the silver charts for that exact same period, you're down nearly 15%. So silver for me certainly is a lot more volatile and a less secure asset to have. And the problem is that it's seen as this easier asset to buy, but gold really truly is in fact better and pretty much always has been. But silver's swing will come good in the end, I have no doubt. And again, with the premium side of things, that's just a track of spot price. That's not necessarily a track of where things are for the premiums. So it's a really interesting time that we're in right now, and there's certainly a lot of unknowns about where spot price will go and where the prices of the precious metals that we buy will be in the future. But even over a short period of 1 year, for me right now, gold has been that thing that's preserved the wealth the most. And even if you take into account the selling premiums or the buying premiums on top of this gold, which to be quite frank is pretty low sometimes, because there are pieces of gold that I'll buy on the second-hand market for 1 or 2% or even less than that. Spot price is what I've paid for a few bits of gold out there. So you got this real great asset protection within gold. Silver, less so. It's got potential, but it's less so in my opinion. One thing that I want to finish this video on is just to say that there is this hype still out there. And every time you see these new inflation figures come out and the silver being knocked back down, that you do get these hype train people saying now is the time to buy. Discount, it's on, buy it now, back up the truck. And I've done this same video, I think, about 20 times in my tenure here on YouTube. Don't back up the truck. It's the most stupid thing that you can do. Unless you can afford to do it, unless it's part of your budget. If you have been saving up, let's say you got $1,000 a month, but for the last 12 months you've been like, silver's a little bit expensive. Go ahead and buy $12,000 worth of silver right now. If that is your budget, great. But don't do it because your favorite YouTuber says to. And certainly don't go and do it on their affiliate bonus code link, which isn't necessarily the best price out there. Remember that affiliate bonus codes are there to make money for the person who promotes them. It's that simple. So be sensible. Be thoughtful about your process of buying and where you're going to buy from and how much you're going to buy. Are you going to stretch yourself? And don't buy what you can't afford or what you can't hold for a long time. And if you are buying silver at a premium, whether it be just US Eagles or pieces of poured silver from us, for example, understand the market that you're getting into, understand the premiums attached and what is happening for them. And whilst bars like these might look exceptionally pretty and be very nice to have, to hold and enjoy, they might not be right for you if you're relying on them being something to get money out of in a short term. It is dangerous, it is risky, and it is what makes people lose the most money when it comes to gold and silver. Now, that said, if you want to support the channel and you can afford and you are looking to get hold of some of our poured silver, now would be the time to do so if it's right for you in your situation. There's a reason why I've waited till the 10th minute of this video to say, hey, look, I've got some of our bars available, because I don't want this to be a hype. I don't want to just go and buy my silver now and then make a video about how I'm not buying silver. It's not who I am. Now, we've made these bars to sell and they are available on the forum, but I'm not going to tout them. I'm not going to pump them and say they're the best thing to buy. If they're right for you right now, then great. And that's really appreciated from my end to support our business and, of course, the Silver Forum. But a lot of people right now, it's time to sit back and just wait and see what's happening. And for a great deal of people, like myself included, gold is the thing that I want to buy. And I'm egging up to buy a new piece of gold. And it might end up being a fairly decent sized gold purchase, because I haven't bought any over this last 4 months. In fact, I think the only thing I picked up was this US Eagle, which I saw on Atkinson's for a really good price. And I didn't have one. Premium, but I enjoy it. But right now, gold's down, and I think I'm hankering for a gold purchase. So if anybody has any suggestions on what I might buy for my next little bit of gold, then please feel free to comment. It'd be great to know what you're thinking right now and what you're perhaps buying as well. It's one of the reasons why we make the videos like this in the style that we do, so that we can get some thought sharing down below. That's it from me. Thank you one and all for watching. If you've watched to the end, let me know, because you're a BYB Rambling Society member and you're cool. Thanks everyone. We'll see you on the next video. And as always, please make sure that you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.